I'm just trying to get the framing right. Ooh. The black cherry vanilla Trader Joe's sparkling water is so good. It kind of tastes like Dr. Pepper, but obviously not sweet. And you'll probably take the fact that I just said that as sacrilege if you hate sparkling water and love Dr. Pepper. So take that as you will. Welcome. I was watching this girl. She has a YouTube channel and also a podcast. And honestly, most of the stuff that most of the content of hers that I've consumed is either podcasts or podcast videos, which is kind of what I had the inspiration to do today. Also, shout out to her. The podcast is Heart to Hearts or Hearts to Hearts. But basically, I'm going to sneeze. Oh my god, that was so intense. It's funny. But on a more serious note, what I wanted to talk about today is, I guess, it's a very old adage, but just how comparison can really rob you of joy. And in my case, I think, well, I guess that's exactly what I was just said. I was going to say can even ruin the joy you already have, which is what I'm experiencing. For context, I don't have any social medias other than YouTube, which I never used to consider a social media, but it really is, especially now that YouTube Shorts are so big. And especially if you're following like more lifestyle type of YouTubers rather than just like content creators, it can be easy to compare your life to them, because just like Instagram or TikTok or any other social media, YouTube is a highlight reel. And something I've run into is comparing my relationship to ones I see online. It's very hard to not just get in your head, at least for me. It can be anything. It can be you comparing your body. You can be comparing your friendships, your social life, your relationship with food. But anyway, what I've been running into recently is just, that being a hard thing to unknot in my brain. Because as much as we all know that social media is a highlight reel, it's really hard once you get it into your head that that's what you're comparing yourself to not compare yourself to that standard. I just think we never know what's going on behind the scenes, and it's so easy to think that we do. Even like people in your real life, like you can compare yourself to them, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You only know exactly what they show you, and you might think that you can read people really easily or really well, or you might think that you know somebody really well, but you never really know how much you really know. Especially with people in your real life, it can be tempting to want to compare yourself because you think you know more, or you that's what I thought about YouTube. It was like, oh, well, like it's not Instagram, so like it's a video, like I'm seeing them a couple times a week do like long form content. Like I know what's going on behind the scenes, but you don't. There's so much you don't know. Just think about yourself, for example, and think about the people closest to you. Do they know everything about you? Do you think that they know everything behind the scenes? Probably not. And the same thing goes for how you know other people. Yeah, I think that's just something that I'm thinking about a lot recently, and wanted to bring to the attention of you guys, to maybe take a step back and think about as well. I'm thinking about doing like a little bit of like a YouTube cleanse. I hate the word cleanse, but sometimes I do think a reset can be really good as far as like social media use, because we are in the time that it's pretty much inevitable. But the problem is ultimately your own tendency to compare yourself to something that you don't know everything about, or someone that you don't know everything about. So, food for thought. In other news, I've been journaling. Oh my god. Just totally beat myself up with that. Something I didn't think I would get into, because I tried it before and I hated it. I would just journal by writing down everything I was thinking just exactly as I was thinking it verbatim. And first of all, that always ended up being like a very messy essay. And second of all, it didn't do anything to get me out of the thought pattern that I was in, and rather just set me deeper inside of it and made me feel really shitty. So what I started doing instead is try and journal, not just from the perspective of the circular thoughts that I'm having, but the perspective of the other person in the situation, the other party, the other side of my own thoughts, if it's something that's just to do with me. So for example, if I'm really angry at my friend for doing XYZ, I can think, okay, journal about, the way that I'm feeling. Why do I feel this way? Name the feeling. Why do I think I'm feeling that way? And then what is another way to view this situation? And this isn't making excuses for people, but this is kind of putting it into perspective. Thinking about it and reframing it that way can be really helpful for me, especially because I think I have a huge tendency to take things personally. So try it out. And I think that's all for the mental health talks that I had today. Drink some water, go on a walk outside, and call your mom or your best friend or whoever you have. We're all just trying to make it work. Yeah, it's hard. Also, I'm going back to therapy, so that's good. I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you to Jordan for letting me use his little mic. I might get a different situation, but also I kind of like just holding a little mini mic, so we'll see. I think I'm supposed to clip this onto my clothes. Like, it has a clip, but I think it's cooler to do this. So, bye.